So there's confirmation. We have our commercial for Beautiful. I do my own commercials. Smells pretty. Okay, so today we have Vixen. Vixen is a band that is all girl band from the 80s. Some of you might have heard of them if you're into my 80s music, but some of you have not. How Much Love is the energy of the Akashic Records, and we did get the Akashic Records card. And the Akashic Records are what we're fulfilling. We're fulfilling our soul contract. Everything's being recorded. Everything you do, say, and feel is all recorded and documented. We did have to go in and redo them a little bit because they were messed with, as everything has been messed with. But that was like a long time ago, like a year ago or so. So we're all good. Now, the reason it's titled Stop is because all night in Astro, we kept having to stop programs, stop assignments, stop people's brains. A lot of you are reeling off The Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, if you haven't looked that song up. Okay? And they just want you to stop and stay in the moment and do what's put in front of you. I got a call yesterday and I'm going to get my truck serviced. And I'm hoping that's because I have to travel in the future and they're making sure that my truck is in good shape and clean oil, etc. Then next month I have my furnace people coming to make sure that my air conditioning will get me through the hot summer. And then in July I have an appointment for my mouth. I always get my mouth done like every 3 months. Dentist happens to be my vice for my body. And in the med beds, we get a whole new set of teeth. So I'm hoping that before July, the med beds come. And I'm hoping before my June furnace appointment, the redemption appointment comes, because then we could get a whole new house. My furnace is brand new, but we could get a whole new house. So these are things that I'm saying. The reason I'm talking about this is because you still have to live. You still have to plan appointments. You still have to do things. But you can attach a good outcome to it and say, oh, good, I'm getting my truck fixed because I'm going to get to travel. I'm getting it maintenance because I get to travel. And instead of canceling appointments or being negative or depressed, go into the appointments as this is going to be fun. This is for a reason. Look at it like the universe is directing all your incomings and outcomings. So when somebody doesn't stop their brain and they run with it, you lose good friendships, you lose good jobs, you lose good opportunities because the person's brain isn't working correctly. So I just want to throw that out there because, you running the show is not working. And until you stop running your own show, you're not going to get the results that you're supposed to be getting. So I do what's put in front of me, and I live in the moment. I live in the day. That's like yesterday I said there was no new music, and 3-4 hours later they had me put Vixen on. Well, I didn't run the show and say, no, I'm not doing it because you said there wasn't going to be no more music today. I just went with the flow. They told me to come on here now because I have some things I'm going to do today, and they didn't want me to do these in my truck. I wanted to do these in my truck today. And that's not happening. So if you can just see how I roll and you try to roll like the energy and roll like Miss Mystic, things are pretty fun. Things are pretty easy. We live in the solution. We do what's put in front of us. We choose the next right thing. We push stop all the time. Some of you don't know what the stop button is. Okay, well, I don't want to be preaching to you. I just want to be helping you. So, okay, we're going to go in the other room. And we're going to check out the Vixen cards and the Vixen music. I think we got Justice as the first card out. I'm pretty sure. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we got Justice number 11 as the first card out. That was the 10 Commandments. Okay. So if you did not look up the 10 Commandments, go ahead and look up the 10 Commandments, because you're obviously missing something in there. And then we had the angels are among us, so everything is temperance, everything is divinely timed, divinely guided. The black sheep outcast, that's what we are. And we're fulfilling our book of life. It does seem to be like a burden, 10 of Wands, but it's the end of the burden. And the 6 of Pentacles, which I always call it, and it's actually the 7 of Pentacles. So 6 and 7 of Pentacles, but this is the 7 of Pentacles. This is my smoking gun card, 7-11 on the clock. Why is it my smoking gun card? Because when that gun's smoking and you have completed your assignment, it feels good. We have the Queen of Swords, and underneath the 10 of Wands was the Queen of Swords. So we have double Queen of Swords, just telling me that you've completed a very, very tough assignment in the truth. And you are now in an Empress mode. And this card was in the wrong deck, and it was stuck under the Empress. And it's very important because it's a 6 of feathers. It's Ruth and the Moabite. So the other day we got this one. Did you guys look up Ruth? The story of Ruth is very important with the 10 of Commandments. 8:07 on the clock with an 8 of Swords under it. Okay, so the 8 of Swords is a card of being stuck. Somebody probably didn't look up Ruth or the 10 Commandments, so they have no clue of what that message was. They're listening to what they want to hear. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. Therefore, that's why they weren't promoted. Okay, so we do have luck in the area of the 9 swords is in reverse. So your anxiety is being relieved by good luck. The luck of the draw. And your home is protected by angels, St. Michael says. He wants you to know that, especially like with me, I have lots of stray animals outside right now, and a lot of times that can be stressful because you want to help everybody and you just can't. You can only do what you can do. And the cat just knocked over the Book of Life. So obviously, if we have the Book of Life being messed with, yeah, we have the Book of Life being messed with by Q. Yeah, is this Q? Yeah, what are you doing? Are you playing with the Book of Life? Well, we were talking about the kitties, okay? So yeah, so the kitties outside have to be kitties outside. We have inside kitties, outside kitties. We have raccoons I haven't seen for a while. Fluffy and Thunderbuck I no longer seen. Sabbath got a house from the neighbor behind us, so she's happy. And I don't know where Fluffy, I don't know where Orange Jay, I don't know where Thunderbuck went. And see, that's hard because it's just like friends. One day you're talking to them on the phone, and the next day they're telling you goodbye. Or one day you're talking to somebody on the phone and they don't even say goodbye, you just never hear from them again. We have animals, they come into your life and you never see them again. So you have to live in the moment. You have to live in the day because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Do I try to prevent people from leaving or animals from leaving? No. It is what it is. God's going to put in front of me what's supposed to be in front of me. He's going to take out what's not supposed to be. Okay? Now, we get the High Priestess every day, and we got her again, and we got the Hermit. So we've got karmic trolls, go within, get rid of the karmic trolls, just go off of them channels. Just delete them, friends. 11:17 on the clock. Stay in your hermit mode. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these up, and we're going to get a little bit of a, what other kind of warning do you want everybody to know? So just if you can stay in the day and do what God puts in front of you, your appointments, your bills, your friends, get rid of the toxicity. Know that you just completed the Queen of Swords and you are now in an Empress mode. You're in a mode of Hierophant. On whatever level you're on. Just because you're not on my level doesn't mean that you're not the Empress and the Queen of Swords on your level. See, so many of you are comparing to others, not happy with where you are, not pushing stop, and you're just letting your mind run with you. These are all warnings that is that Eight of Swords energy. But since the Nine of Swords was in reverse, it's not really causing you anxiety, it's just causing you a delusion. You're like going the wrong way. The stop sign said stop, and you don't stop. You go through the stop sign and you get into an accident. You didn't have to get into that accident, but you didn't stop at the stop sign, so therefore you got in the accident. We have 2 4-way stops on both sides of me, and the policeman sits down there and he picks up people. Like every time he comes back to his spot, another one goes through the stop sign, and then he goes and picks them up. It's like constant all day long because people don't stop for the stop sign. Okay, I've got the air sign, but I'm attracted to the Empress picture. It's more of an Empress energy coming off of this. So everything I just said, and are you staying in your angelic frequencies? Now you may say, well, Vixen, that's not very angelic frequency. Well, it's all in how you perceive it, because I think it is, and you may think it's not. So then don't listen to it. Just read the words and put the words into Book of Life, because that's where it's connected to. It's connected to the Book of Life, and it's all about the divine feminine power, and she's talking to the divine masculine. It's her sacred intuition. So again, we're going with that High Priestess energy, compassion, nurturing, creativity, and sensuality. So again, the High Priestess every single day. All right. And then we've got stay away from the narcissists, stay away from the playboys is your challenge. And also for the men, not to go into getting unclean. Everybody should stay clean, high ranking, stay in your King and Queen of Swords energy is what I'm hearing. Keep your divine perspective. Your divine perspective says mental clarity. Keep looking at the bigger picture, seeing outside of one's ego. And that's everything I just said earlier about just do the next appointment that comes in. Ancient sites of power. Keep remembering who you are and why you're here. That was mostly yesterday. And with the survival mode in reverse, we want to be out of the lack mentality. We want to be out of the attitude of, I don't have enough, it's not happening fast enough, and change that all, push the stop button, change that attitude into what's being put in front of me right now, and what animals and friends do I have in my circle right now that I can be grateful for, instead of looking outside the circle on the ones that left or you don't see. And then we have forbidden knowledge. So more knowledge is coming in on this level, and you're expanding. You're bringing, this is the 4 of cups, but I said 3, but this is where you're bringing that idea that you have up here down into the table. And you're saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this bright idea. I'm going to uncross my hands and I'm going to do it. And we have the motorcycle card, the Knight of Pentacles. You could be going a little bit faster, I'm hearing, and going towards your 9 of Cups, your wishes and your desires. And then in reverse, I have a card here saying, believe in miracles. A miracle will soon happen in your life. And the reason it's in reverse is because you don't believe that. You say, I keep hearing you over and over again that a miracle's happening and nothing's happening. Well, you're just not seeing them because you're alive and well and watching this right now. And that's a miracle in itself. If you could just write out all your miracles just on you alone, not even talking about your house, your car, your pets, your money, your food, etc., the list goes forever. But you don't see no miracles happening. That's why it's in reverse. Ye of little faith is what I'm hearing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and end it with, we've got ego death. And that's a perfect way to end it because you're easing God out. And your hard work is paying off, but you're not seeing it. It says to keep the faith. So for those of you that are getting an A+, your hard work is paying off, and you are in that Hierophant energy, which is a high-ranking leader. All 4 kings and queens. We talked about this yesterday. You're top of the game. And for those of you that got demoted, everything I just said in this video is why. You know, you can slice the energy, it's so thick, into half and half. You can just feel it. You can feel the ones that are doing great, and you can feel the ones that aren't doing great, and it's all up here. It's all up here. It's your thinking. So it's not your drinking, it's your thinking. It's not your anything but your thinking. So you get your thinking cap back on and you'll be up there soon with us. And I told you that yesterday. I said, this ain't a bad thing that you were demoted. It's a great thing. But you're looking at it like it's a bad thing. All you have to do is go back in there and redo your assignment and have a better attitude at this, right? Go in there and make that banana cake again and get a blue ribbon. But instead you're telling the cook in the class goodbye. No, I don't think that's the right attitude, but who am I to say? You need to fulfill your own assignments. Okay, so we're going to leave it with the Hierophant energy. I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.